In this training module, you'll be taken through the operation of this Class 350/1 electric multiple unit. For this introduction, you'll be driving the train a short distance and performing passenger operations. Sit in the driver's seat. Set the master key to on. This electric multiple unit, or EMU, features dual electrification and can be used with both third rail and overhead electrification. Set the pantograph switch to the up position. This will raise the third rail shoes to disconnect them and raise the pantograph to connect with the wires above, swapping the power collection from 750 volts DC third rail. Set the headlights to daylight to indicate to others that this train is operational. Set the reverser to forward. This controls the direction of travel.
Embarking on a new career is always exciting. Today you're joining the list of people who work on the railways, keeping the world's people and cargo running smoothly. There's a lot to learn, but you'll be taking it step by step. Let's start by looking around. Find each of the markers and look at them. Before you get to the trains, take a quick tour of the facility here and learn the basics of moving around on foot. Your current objective is shown in the top left of the screen. You've just been awarded some action points. These are displayed in the top right corner of the screen and count towards your overall experience level for the game. This is one of the many route tasks you can discover. Keep an eye out for other tasks that will ask you to place, collect, or fix a variety of things. Head into the main building to continue your induction. Walk over to the... You can pause at any point to review objectives and a lot of other information about what's happening at the moment. Try it now and then return to the game after you've had a look round. Now that you've covered some of the basics of moving around and interacting with the environment, let's take a walk through the building and find the trains. This is Central Square. From here you can explore the main training centre depot and surrounding yards. Your journey operating trains is just getting started here at the training centre. Remember, you can always come back here from the main menu to refresh your knowledge if you're unsure about anything.
Welcome to London Euston, located on the West Coast Main Line in the UK. The West Coast Main Line is one of the busiest mixed traffic routes in Europe and one of the most important railway lines in the UK. There are more tasks to find. Be sure to apply the route maps, restock defibrillators, help delivery robots, and find football scarves. Follow the markers to board the train before departure. Take a seat. The train is just about to leave. The main West Coast Main Line, which started construction in 1837 stretches 399 miles from London to Glasgow. Including the additional lines that veer off to other major cities, the route mileage comes to a total of around 700 miles. Initially, the line was not intended to be a single route, but was put together through a series of local lines that first created the North Western Railway in 1846, and finally merged together with the Caledonian Railway in 1923. The line's ownership has changed frequently over the years, most notably owned by London, Midland and Scottish Railway thanks to the Railways Act of 1921 that joined many railway companies together. In the 1950s, the railway was upgraded to have electrification and newer intercity services with speeds of up to 110 miles per hour, with most of the line having a top speed of 125 miles per hour. This train is a Class 350/1 electric multiple unit, manufactured between 2004 and 2014, and is part of the Desiro family. Commuter action abounds along the bustling 4-track West Coast Main Line in TrainSim World. Dash through the complex layout of London Euston aboard the hard-working Class 350 and embark across the northwest corner of the capital to Milton Keynes with expresses and stoppers alike. In this training module, you'll be taken through the operation of this Class 350/1 electric multiple unit. For this introduction, you'll be driving the train a short distance and performing passenger operations. Sit in the driver's seat. Set the master key to on. This electric multiple unit, or EMU, features dual electrification and can be used with both third rail and overhead electrification. Set the pantograph switch to the up position. This will raise the third rail shoes to disconnect them and raise the pantograph to connect with the wires above, swapping the Set the headlights to daylight. Set the reverser to forward. This controls the direction of travel. On level grades, you can coast to maintain your speed, reducing it. Keeping to speed limits is important. If you begin overspeeding, apply a small amount of braking force by moving the combined power brake handle into the braking range. You're approaching the station. Begin applying a small amount of braking force by moving the combined power brake handle into the braking range. Nice job. The train has safely come to a stop. You can now use the passenger door controls to open the doors. Good work. That concludes all the basics of operating this train.
In this training module, you will be taken through the operation of this DBBR423 electric multiple unit. Insert the reverser key to set the reverser to forward. This controls the direction of travel. Set the headlights to indicate that this unit is operational. For this introduction, you will be driving the train a short distance and performing passenger operations. Open the passenger doors to allow close the doors before departure. The train is now ready to depart. To release the brakes and apply power, push the handle away from you. Now you've built up some speed, you can return the master controller to the off position to begin coasting.
In this training module, you'll learn about the on-screen overlay known as the heads-up display, or HUD. You'll see it when you're in control of a train. You can configure a range of parameters for the HUD that affect how it looks in the game settings. In this tutorial, you're going to take a look at the two main types of HUD and make a first choice of which one you prefer. Get started by climbing up. Welcome to the most important seat in the train. Before you can start learning how to make the train move, you're going to need to understand what the HUD is telling you. There are three types of HUD. The one you're seeing now is the normal HUD. You'll learn that first, and then take a look at the minimal HUD next. There is also a simple HUD, which is essentially a cut-down version of the normal HUD. The HUD is a guide to show you what the train is doing, how you're doing, and what your next objectives are. You can tune what's shown here using the game settings. The main part of the normal HUD is the speed display in the bottom right. Your current speed is indicated by a white bar that will appear on the outside of the speedometer, and there is a red mark that indicates the maximum permitted speed. This is the direction display. An arrow will indicate the forward, reverse, and neutral directions. A cross, or X, means the reverser is currently either not inserted or in the off position. This is the power display. A number will indicate what position the power or throttle control is in. If the display is white, it refers to power. If the display is yellow, it means powered braking or dynamic braking. If the display is red, then the throttle is currently locked out and you will need to take steps to release the lock before power can be applied. You can learn about troubleshooting elsewhere in Training Center. These are the brake indicators. The exact one shown will vary by train and will often be visible in the train itself on the various gauges. These gauges tell you what is happening in the braking system. The most important one is the BC, or brake cylinder. In most trains, when this reads 0, that means the brakes are released. Anything else, and the brakes are applied. In the top right is the track monitor. This shows you the line ahead and allows you to see all the signals and speed limit changes that you're approaching. By default, the track monitor shows the signals with their actual red, yellow or green aspect. But when you get more confident, you can hide this information via an option in the game settings. As you accelerate, the track monitor will extend its look-ahead distance so you can see much further ahead at higher speeds. This is all done automatically. Now that you're familiar with the normal HUD, it's time to take a look at the minimal HUD. You can change this via the game settings, but for this tutorial the game will change it automatically. You can see that most of the HUD is now gone. You are left with basic information in the top left corner. The minimal HUD immerses you in the experience of driving the train. Use the train's real gauges as much as possible. In the top left corner, you will see the information about your next objective and some limited information about what the train's doing, such as your current speed, the speed limit, and the gradient. Use the game settings to add and remove information from the minimal HUD. With less information, you'll find driving more challenging, but also more immersive and rewarding. Experienced players might prefer the minimal HUD, especially when driving from the cab view. The normal HUD is ideal for newcomers or anyone who wants to drive from an external camera. You can switch HUDs in game settings. Do you want to start with the normal HUD or minimal HUD? That concludes this module. If you wish to replay it, you can come back to it at any time via the training center. In this training module, you're going to learn how to make a train move and then bring it to a stop. For this exercise, you'll be using a British Class 323 electric multiple unit. It's a great train to get started with as the controls are quite straightforward. This module will get you used to the feel of the train and its controls. While many trains have different controls and are operated in different ways, there are basically always 3 controls that are common and are required to move the train. The reverser chooses the direction you're going to move in. It often has 4 positions: off, forward, neutral, and reverse. The brakes are used to slow or stop the train. There are potentially multiple braking systems you can find in different trains, and you can read more about that in other sections of the training center. For now, the Class 323 has a very simple braking system. The throttle controls how fast the train accelerates. In this train, the throttle and brakes are controlled by a combined power and brake handle. Moving the handle in one direction will apply power. The middle position is neutral and does nothing, and then the other range applies the brakes. You will find in some other trains that the throttle and brakes are on separate handles. Before you go any further, set the headlights for we want to move the train forward. In the bottom right and in the center of the speedometer gauge, you can see a little ball. This is the accelerometer and will move up or down to indicate whether you're speeding up or slowing down. Now that you've reached your target speed, you can move the throttle control back to the center position. The train will then coast on level ground and only slow down very gradually.